I guess it's wedding season at the moment, which means lots of people are getting married. I wanted to challenge myself today and see if I could make an entire wedding cake out of cakes from the grocery store. Disclaimer right up front, I'm not a wedding cake decorator. I do little cakes, just single tier cakes. I actually wrote an entire book about it. I'll list everything that I used for this cake down below, and basically everything that I used is gonna be from Walmart. You might be able to get it on Amazon, but for the most part, it's all gonna be from Walmart. Let's go. I have 3 of these red velvet cakes. These have been chilling for a little bit, and I think it is gonna help for them to be cold just so that they're not gonna flop around when we're trying to ice it. I thought red velvet would be good because it's kind of fancy, I guess, for a wedding. What I'm gonna use to make this a lot easier is this Lazy Susan. You can get them anywhere. And this is just going to allow us to spin the cake as we frost it. I'm gonna take the first one and put it straight down onto the Lazy Susan. Now it does have a cake board underneath, which I'm just gonna leave so that we can kind of move it around a little bit. I'm gonna attempt to flip this one onto the bottom one. And this is why I said it's probably gonna be helpful if they're cold. So hopefully we can do this without ruining the entire thing. Oh my goodness, okay. Okay. That works. That is actually taller than I was expecting. Okay, I'm gonna do exactly the same thing with this one. Okay. You could add extra icing in between, but it already had icing on the top, so I think that that is enough. On second thoughts, I think I'm gonna take this top tier off just because that is really tall. I wanted the outside to be the classic white clean cake, so I'm going to scrape this frosting off. I just don't want these crumbs getting into the final layer of frosting. And just kind of use some of this buttercream to trap those crumbs in. Okay, this is basically crumb coated. I'm gonna put it back in the fridge to chill before we do anything else to it. Otherwise, we'll probably have red streaks through our cake. Now I'm gonna work on the smaller cakes. I still don't know if I'll need 2 or 3. Honestly, has anyone ever wondered why people get married in the summer? I mean, I guess it's nice weather, which makes sense, but it's also the hottest part of the year. So like if you wanna have an outdoor wedding, people are gonna be sweating their faces off, and all your food is gonna melt, including your cake. But summertime is one of the main reasons I never took up doing wedding cakes, because I was always too paranoid that they would just melt in the sun. So I have my red velvet here, and I'm just going to kind of very precariously stack this on top just to see the height. Let's see how tall this looks. So I want it to look in proportion. Yeah, I think it's just 2. 2 looks good. Just gonna scrape these crumbs off first. Kind of crumb coat it at the same time. Okay, crumb coated and time to chill. Ugh. Frosting. So I found this at Walmart. I've actually admittedly never used this before. It is called White Creamy Decorator Icing. So I think this was like 13 bucks. And it looks like that, just standard white icing. I believe you can also go to your grocery store and go to the bakery section and ask them for a tub of pre-made frosting. I tried to find some at my bakery and that's what they gave me. I didn't think that that would cover very much, and this was $5, so it really just depends what you have in your town. It's even more cost effective to make it yourself. I'll link a recipe right here or down below. So I'm gonna fill up this ginormous piping bag with frosting, and a little easy trick that I like to use is to just put it inside of a cup, and you can fold the ends down. And that way it's not gonna go anywhere while you try to fill it with frosting. Just give it a bit of a stir because it does look like it has some air bubbles in it. And just fill her up. Ta-da! And just squeeze it down. Cut a hole in the end of it. I think we're ready to frost. Okay, I'm gonna start with the piping bag and just go starting at the bottom and just go around. I have a tall scraper and I'm just going to start in the front and just kind of scrape it all around the cake just to try to get a nice smooth surface. Now on top, I'm just gonna pull this frosting into the middle. Okay, this is gonna go back in the fridge while we work on the tiny cake. And let's give us some frosting. Okay, I have those cakes in the fridge, chilling, so that they're nice and cool when we go to stack them, but I'm gonna work on the flowers in the meantime. You guys thought these were just for decorations, didn't you? I am definitely not fancy enough to have fresh flowers for decoration. I'm gonna use these white orchids today, but you could really use any flowers that would go with your wedding. These are just some of my favorites. Also, Walmart didn't have any fresh roses. I don't know how you're supposed to cut this so that you don't kill the plant. I'm really sorry if that's wrong, but we have our flowers. So I'm gonna add some reinforcements to this cake. What we're gonna do is, I'm gonna put one directly in the middle, and then I'm gonna pull it out, and where that frosting ends, I'm gonna snip it off so that it's level with the top of the cake. And actually, you can take 4 more of these and use it as a measuring stick and cut them all the same length. Just try to make sure that they're all straight. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very crooked cake. Okay, this is gonna go back in. And then I'm just gonna stagger these all around the central dowel. Let's add a little bit of glue to the top so our cake has something to stick onto. And very carefully just put it on top. Guys, it worked! I'm basically a pro now. You can call me for all your wedding cake needs. Now I'm gonna test out how these flowers are gonna go on. So I just bought a roll of floral tape, but I can't find it. So in a pinch, you can use some Glad wrap and just wrap it around the stem that's gonna be poking into the cake, just so that the stem doesn't come in direct contact with the food. And I'm going to stick it in. Don't move, please. I would have liked this as a wedding cake. Dang. You guys, I cannot believe that this was a Walmart cake or a series of Walmart cakes, and honestly, I think it turned out beautiful. You can disagree with me if you want, but I think it turned out beautiful and I am super proud of myself. I love it. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you're gonna try this year, if you're getting married or if you're making someone else's wedding cake. Like and subscribe, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.